What's happening, guys? So we're in the garage. Real shocker. Yeah, so I actually today picked a few things up. Picked up a new windshield rubber because you guys all blew me up that I wasn't going to put one in. So hopefully the glass guy's actually showing up on Friday. Fingers crossed. So today we're actually going to work on light bulbs. We got some miscellaneous bulbs. We got the wiring diagram. I want to put stuff all together. I think it's like the first time in a while this car, well, I don't know if I've ever had this car pointed in. We got a pile of snow. Managed to, drive it and winch it in. It was a real pain in the ass. So we're going to get that all dialed together. I have all the confidence in the world that wiring on this thing is probably going to be fine, other than a couple of dirty sockets, kind of stuff like that. I can't see it being too crazy. Maybe the odd wire needs to be kind of taken care of. I am missing one little marker light on the front fender, so hopefully I can figure something out on that. As you guys know, we have to pass inspections here, which is a bit of a pain, but it does keep everything legit. Yeah, so I'm going to start tearing this thing apart, see what we need. Danny wants to run to Canadian Tire real quick, and I don't got to twist my arm too hard to go there, and I should see if I need any bulbs or whatever it is before we go. So I'm going to give it a quick once over, and we'll go from there. Oh, anyone who's bought a shirt, man, I love this shirt. Thanks you guys very much. I appreciate that. And, yeah, let's get after it. This is the boring stuff, but lights, windshield, I gotta do an alignment. I kind of think we can drive it. At least take it down to get the inspection. Hopefully it passes. Wish me luck. Okay, so a little bit of screwing around and we have all the headlights working. Now, there are a few things to get to where we were. First off, you want to make sure your ground is hooked up. Now, wiring, I know a lot of people get scared of it because there's a lot of stuff you got to kind of snake through and all that. It's pretty simple. You're gonna have on this one, it's your low beam and your high beam, so they have their own specific sockets. 3-pin, 2-pin, can't really screw those up. The wiring really only fits one way, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then we have left over. Now I don't know what these are yet. This is where the wiring diagram will come into play. But there's 3 sets. I'm gonna assume 2 wires in is probably turn signal, and this one here is probably, these actually have a little light in the fender for an indicator. Whether or not I get those working, who knows. But one of these is going to go to the marker turn signal there, and the other one is going to go to the marker turn, which I'm missing on this side, but I do have like that. That's what it's going to look like. So I gotta track one down or put something in there for the time being. Now, step 1, that's kind of where we ended up. You actually have to get power to it. Now, in this thing, you have your headlight switch. Now, originally, this headlight switch was not working, so I just blasted it with some penetrating oil and worked it back and forth. So, it's a pretty simple process. We didn't have any power up there, nothing, so you trace your way back, at least I did. This is your high-low beam. Now, the foot connector goes between high and low. Obviously, that's what it does. Now, all I did was I put the test light in the power inside of it. And as you can see, it works. Before, you move this switch and nothing would work. So I just worked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it started working. And we're happy. Then you can move over. You got power there. And the green one's gonna have power all the time. In this case, the black one only has it when you step on it. So that's how you go high-low. That's how you get power there. Now again, this is all sloppy. I should put a new one in, but this one works. So I just hosed it down with some penetrating oil again, and you just work it back and forth a bazillion times. I mean, this thing's been sitting, so it is what it is. You can look at this. The gauge even works. Boop, 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 boop. So that's the basics of the headlights. Now we know the headlights are working, so we're golden on that. Now we have headlights on. We have no tail lights whatsoever, so we gotta deal with that. I mean, it could be a bulb, could be corrosion, could be whatever. I was working back here a while ago when MURch was in the car doing something, and he bumped the brake light and one brake light went on, so we're probably fine. Now, when I did the floor, there's one connector that goes front to back, which typically is either flat or round, whatever it is, with a a pile of wires taped together. So in this case, it's Oh, that got hot. Wow! Burnt my pretty little fingers. This is embarrassing. So it's this one here. I wish I could touch this a little more. So this connector right here is going to be all of your power wires going to the back. So again, it's pretty simple. There's, looks like six wires in it. So to the back, you're going to have brake, turn, park, license plate might be on its own, fuel gauge, maybe a ground, I'm not really too sure. Again, that's where the wiring diagram is going to come into play, but can't be that difficult. So the nice thing to do is you can easily just disconnect this, and with your test light, test all these for power, make sure you're working from the bulkhead back, and then you can screw around with lights and all that. Again, the way this works, the brake pedal and the turn signal switch got to work together. So I'm assuming this will probably need to be taken apart and cleaned, just like the horn was, but now it works. Because if you want the turn signal to supersede the brake pedal. So if your foot's on the brake, you want to make sure if you have it like left turn, your left turn is blinking and it cancels out the brake lights. So they have to talk to each other and do their little thing, which is a little complicated, but ultimately the brake switch just runs through the turn signal switch, which then runs back out. So with a wiring diagram, really isn't that difficult, but you got to take care of that. The last thing we have is the flasher switch, which is pretty stiff. I'm assuming it's going to need to be sprayed down, work back and forth a bunch of times. And same thing, a lot of times it has its own thing, its own power with its own flasher and all that. I don't know about this. I mean, again, this MURch stuff is new to me. On Chevys, so I'm going to talk as a Chevy guy right now, turn signal has its own flasher versus the four-way flasher has its own set of flasher. So you got to make sure of that, and you want to make sure all the lights are working and all that. If you don't have bulbs and everything, it will act kind of funny. Pretty simple setup. I mean, I'm sure I covered a lot there. I'll get it all kind of working, maybe bring it back, give you a little bit more, but I made my list of what bulbs I need because I don't have the license plate, and I think I gotta take that apart because it doesn't have the dome light, which I assume, let's hope it'll work. So take that apart, see how it works. A lot of times they almost look like a fuse, but they're actually a light bulb, which I don't have. And hopefully Canadian Tire does. This old stuff is getting harder and harder to find fuses and light bulbs. So if you can find them, stock up on them. Or tell me where they are so I can stock up on them. All right, well, I'll keep kind of moving, but it's a good start. I mean, all the wiring's in good shape. You can't really complain. Sometimes stuff gets chewed up by rats and all that, but this car's solid but corroded. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so we got Danny out here. We got half the lights out. I cut my finger taking a light bulb out, which is a pain, but check this out. I got the interior light to work. That's what cut my finger, the top dome light. It's all schminty. And then check out the back. So I haven't done the front lights and the back lights. We have driver turn, passenger turn. We have park lights are on, right? Dim, yes. We have brake lights, perfect. And I got the four-way flasher to work. You're going, yeah? So we're all good there. And then up front, we have headlights and high beams, and I put all the trim on. Whoop! So basically, we're all there. So I'm confident. My finger hurts, and Danny made brownies, so that's pretty important. So tomorrow I got to do the running lights. So I got these both working on the side here. These are kind of cool, actually. The backup, both those going. So tomorrow we have to hit like Princess Auto by like a trailer light, which is kind of lame, just to plug in the one side so it has a light in it. So I got to get both those marker lights going, the two front signals going, and backup lights, which I'm pretty sure runs through the transmission in this thing. And then there's no dash lights yet, but it's missing a bunch. So I got to see if I can get those little plastic turn-in things that hold whatever bulbs there, 53, 57, something like that. And then we should be kind of good on all that. So hopefully I can get all that dialed together. And then Glass Guy Friday. But it's late. I want brownies, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 2 of Plymouth wiring. Should be good. I got a few things on the way home from work. I picked up these little socket deals, which you jam just like a 194 in, and they fit behind the cluster. It's missing a bunch of those for some reason. That's always exciting. I got a wash fluid tank. This actually came in a couple days ago from Amazon. It's like a universal one, which, it's not perfect, but this one here, the motor is all seized up and you can see it's all cracked and bust, and it's kind of cool, but we'll put it on the shelf for now. I picked up a little tiny light. This is like a little trailer light for like $3, and all I did, I drilled out, gentle buddy, I drilled out a fender washer, and this is going to act as the little marker light. So I'm literally going to put it in there and put like a hose clamp on the back or something just to hold it until I can find the proper one, because the factory ones are on Amazon or eBay, so it'll look whatever, it'll look how it looks. Won't be perfect, but the factory ones are like $50 for a used one, so I gotta find somebody that has it. If I had I might have to look through here. If I have like a 1/2 inch or something like that fender washer, it would probably fill it a little better. But so yeah, we got the marker lights to deal with, the front park turn signal lights, washer fluid, spritz, and backup lights. Neutral safety works, backup lights, the 2 wires. I might have to jack this thing up. I'll show you. There's a 3-pin connector on the transmission. The middle one is your neutral, and these 2 here go to your wiring harness some way, somehow, which I don't know, it works the same, I assume, as like, I mean, Chevy's is in the column, or in the column, or it's a little micro switch. I don't know, I got the wiring diagram here, so I'll figure out where it is. I mean, it's a column shift car, which, and that's what it was factory, so there's got to be a couple of wires in the little whatever connection there, which will go to the back, and I'm sure it'll work. And if it doesn't, it's a minor. And license plate light, and that's all I got for lights, I believe. But yeah, so we'll get started and see how far we make it tonight. I'm hoping we'll finish everything, but famous last words, right? Seems like we're always hanging out in the dark here today in this video. But check out lights. Ooh, and we got the squirter works. We don't have turn signals yet, but a flasher, I should say. It should light something up. What's going on? I got nothing. Oh, there we go. It should light something up there, but you know what? Until I get the front signals and all that going, we'll leave it there. These are a pain to get into, but yeah, that's kind of, I like it. Looks neat. Old school stuff. All right, I'll struggle on the front and maybe a little supper. So I'm giving her. We got the lights. It actually works. The battery is well, it's a little low from having the headlights on and stuff like that. I'm just working on the other side light, which is not going great. It's really rusty. I'll show you that real quick. But before I do that, I did take the license plate little lamp out, as you can tell by the torch. It didn't go great, and it's all beaten up and stuff like that. So I bought one of these universal ones a while ago. Actually, I put it on just backwards, and the holes will line up perfectly with that. So that's on backwards, obviously. So I just gotta zip those screws off, pop that out, and then this can go in its place, and it'll be the same height and everything. And then this just goes on top, so it aims the stupid one-handed problems. It just aims the light down, and then it just has power and ground, so I just ground it right to itself when I bolt it in, and then we'll use this one wire to connect to the factory one. Now the socket, I'm letting it kind of pickle in some degrease or penetrating oil. The light is in there bad. It's all rusted together, so we're gonna let that sit for just a little bit. I think I'm gonna finish up. I'll put this license plate all together. It's again pretty simple. I tested there's power at this wire, so I know the second I hook it up, it'll work just fine. And then we'll let the battery charge. We'll let that soak. Danny made meatloaf for dinner, so that's pretty important. That's high on the priority list. So I'm gonna go eat that. We'll let that soak, and then hopefully I can put it all back together, and then we literally just have the turn signal and marker on that side to do, and I think all the lights will work. We still don't have turn signals in the dash there, so I'll have to do a little research on that, but whatever. For now, I've had a lot of wins, and I'm gonna leave them at that. Well, status update. Things are not going well. Thanks for the support there, babe. So this, actually, I crawled in there. This is what that little light was looking like, and this part here is threaded, which should be attached to this part, which is threaded. And the second I kind of touched it, just literally fell apart in my hands. So that's a bummer, but at least I have the chrome trim ring piece, or whatever you want to call it, there still. So hopefully I'll go buy another light. I should have bought two. You know, I was there, I was looking at the shelf, they were like $3. I'm like, I should buy a couple of these. I'm like, no, I only need one. Idiot.
Didn't I tell you to buy two?
So I'll see if...
I did tell you to buy two!
No, it's something else. I just bought them today.
Oh.
So I'm thinking worst case I can just kind of silicone it in or something like that, and then I'll wire it and it'll be fine. So that light will work. I know there's power there. And I got the old light out of this thing, but it's completely seized in there and all that stuff, so, and it doesn't really come apart. The socket's all one piece. So I'm gonna let that sit overnight with some goo in it, and hopefully it'll work. We got Danny out here, so she's gonna do a walk around in the dark. We show all the lights off, minus the driver's side front. So we don't have front turn or park lights. Actually, this thing, I don't know if I said this or not. So the way it works, it has park lights, but then the headlights, when the headlights go on, the front park lights go out. I had a 64 Chevy that did that. But I know in like 65 or 6 in Chevy, they stopped doing that. So if you're a Mopar guy, is that how it's supposed to be? Because it seems like that's what they both do. The wiring doesn't look all butchered up, so... yeah. Alright, so we'll walk around, we'll shut this sucker down. Alright, so we go to the front. On that side. That's the only side that works. Okay, so... Danny's going to show you the lights. So we got the headlights work. High-low. Look at that option. We got front turn signal up there.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's got park lights. But then when you go on headlights, the park lights go out, right? Kind of weird. So yeah, that all works. We have the dash lights work, which is pretty awesome. I already showed them that, but I love it. So that's neat. We got tail lights and stuff like that. All the interior lights work, both of them. So we're pretty much set. The only thing that's not working is the indicator on the dash. For whatever reason, is not working. But yeah, it's cool. I like this thing. So that's where we're gonna leave it. We got, I don't know, like 85% of the lights working. Oh, license plate light. Is that still working?
Oh yeah, it's on.
Yeah. We got that going. Oh, backup lights. I'm gonna do the backup lights, but the car's come up in the air, so I'll do that some other time, I guess. Because I'm not feeling it tonight. It's been a lot screwed up. My finger really hurts. I think I got like a piece of glass in it because it still hurts when I touch it, which is a pain. Oh, there's junk there too. So we'll let that pickle for a day. Hopefully that turn signal will figure out. Tomorrow the glass guy's coming, so I gotta get cleaned up in here and make sure it's nice and warm for him. And that'll be the next. I don't know. Hopefully he's cool. I'll be able to film it. That'll be kind of neat. Have him put the glass in. But then once the glass is in, the lights work. I don't think there's a whole lot else I gotta do with this thing. Odds and ends, but we can actually take it for a drive. Huh? Hopefully it'll work. The snow. You'll have to watch Danny's video. I was so frustrated. You get stuck in the snow the other day with all that snow, but it's supposed to be like 10 degrees the next couple of days. So hopefully the snow melts. We can actually take it for a ride. Yeah, we got the washer fluid working. This thing's going to be a cool hot rod. I'm excited to drive it. So that's it. Wiring 101, 201, 301, whatever it is. Dodge stuff. Everyone always complains about Dodge wiring, but I gotta say this is actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. So, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, buy a t-shirt, tell MURch what's up. Tell me I'm an idiot for buying a Dodge or whatever. And
You're an idiot for buying a Dodge.
And ask me where the wagon is. Where's the wagon? Working on it. I'm not working on it, but I'm working on it. See you later.